female game is entirely predicated on getting you to fall in love. It's really that simple. That's the entire game in a nutshell. All right, she's going to try to optimize for the best alpha dude she could find, the hottest, biggest, meanest, strongest, guy she could find. And her entire game plan is to eventually convince him that he's fallen in love with her. That she's special, that she's unique, that she is more than just her beauty, her box, and her presence. Now, quick word, props to them, because they don't necessarily have to be much more to have value. So props to them. But for guys, it needs to be taught that romantic love is not real. It's a Western concept in literature, and it's basically a myth, but it is one of the most potent myths that we have. It is canon for the West. It is literally supposed to be and only be like an inspiration. It's a muse, a spirit you can draw upon out of the cultural matrix, out of the collective imagination of Western thought and literature. That's all it's supposed to be. So, on a subjective level, I do think women actually know this too. They know it's BS. And if you watch a woman's behavior, it is the most pragmatic, practical shit ever. Because, let's face it, I mean, guys usually come around to something of their maturity a little bit later than girls do. A little bit later, right? Because women have that biological clock, so they gotta figure shit out a little bit sooner. And us guys, around, I think it's 27 to 30 is when we really start to just dial in. We've made our grotesque mistakes. We're like, all right, that's enough. But I do see this as a twofold problem, because women, for the most part, are taught to weaponize this. That is the norm. That is the gold standard in our culture, and it's just blown out of fucking proportion. Okay, they're not told to use this feminine energy, because that's what it is. Feminine energy is this sort of enchantress, seductive, and that I am using it in mythological terms. Also, seductress is its negative counterpart. There are positive counterparts that aren't getting taught all that much, but nonetheless, think about the way when a woman dances, right? The rhythm, the movement of the hips, the visual aesthetics, how that's pleasing. They are masters of illusion, masters of Maya. So the entire game plan for female nature is to get you to fall in love. And once you do, she now, there's something that clicks that now recognizes, done. I can either stay in this and or try again and for something stronger, badder, hotter, whatever. But for the most part, the cake has been cooked thoroughly. Unfortunately, it's been cooked a little too good, actually. I do think that there is a sliver of thought in a woman that goes, I hope he doesn't fall in love with me. So that's the first part. The second part, the twofold problem, is that as men, we don't get taught this. We don't get taught this, bro. When I was knee deep into red pill content, and I'm starting to finally synthesize red pill content and philosophy, theology for my own sake, for me. I'm synthesizing my own axioms and principles that I find individual solace with me and how I approach things and how I live. So what I'm saying is, when man falls in love, you're not actually doing anything healthy for yourself. And I'm not saying don't fall in love. I'm not saying don't love your woman. Okay. What I'm saying is, when you are in love, you are now operating under something that is not real. It's an illusion. It's literally you are essentially possessed. You are operating under a very you are operating under a spirit that was invented, basically. And I don't know if you've ever been in love and truly have, but my suspicion is things did not go well for you. That's my suspicion. I personally think that when you are in love, your physiological, psychological, emotional alarms start kicking in. They like it's like your body and mind knows it's not healthy for you. But the big mistake that us guys make is that we think it's the girl. This is why we get that cold feet. This is why we have that like internal conflict. And we make a mess of things, even if it was a good girl, even if it was a bad girl. We make a worse mess of things when you're in love. Because to some fucking crazy, in one way or another, like, you have actually gone crazy. It's not actually that far-fetched to talk about it, to put it in those terms. Okay. Back in the day, as far as I can tell, what the textbooks and history and literature tells me, men did not spend that much time with women, with your girl, right? Like, Netflix and chill, like, Netflixing, chilling out with your homegirl, with your lady, every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday night, Friday night. Like, this, it wasn't meant to be that way. You should always be out and about doing something. And you can never fall in love. This is actually the healthy thing. A woman will be closer to that sort of love because she's dependent on you. She's dependent on the sacrifice you make, on the fact that you are willing to die for her. But unfortunately, we live in a day and age that literally she can swap you out like clothes. So the man who doesn't fall in love consistently is the one who actually passes her great test. He is the most alpha and stays up here, if you want to put it in those terms. He's the most alpha. He's the most solid. He's the most solid dude. He stays up here. Every other guy, no matter where he is on that scale, every other guy that falls in love, if they do fall in love, I mean, we're talking about like 6 different notches, right? Like, whatever it is in the spectrum. But if he does fall in love, bam, all right, I've put him, the cake is cooked. He is now in the web. Now I can draw upon him from maybe in a year, maybe 3 years. I'm gonna go ahead and do my own thing and see what else I can optimize for. But in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, because he's fallen in love with me, I can now draw upon him for safety, for security, for fun, for Christ's sake, honestly, for fun too, if that's what they wanted, right? In 10 years, who knows? Whatever the case may be. Mainly because she knows the extent to which love, romantic love, what that means. I was able to cast my illusion on him. I was able to entangle him into my web of illusion, and he fell for it. So in some strange sense, I have him. So given that, I want you to do one thing and think about what you will do. I know every situation is a little different. I get that. All right. There are some relationships in the past in which, when I had recognized this, I low-key burned the bridge down. And personally, you don't have to. It is what it is. It's just nature at this point. So think about this, okay? If you have fallen in love and it didn't work out, you need to keep this in mind and recognize, okay, well, if she does come to me in the future, maybe I will give it a chance, maybe I won't. But given this is the entire premise of game for a girl, what will you do? Let me know. Deuces.
She told me that she done with me, she don't see the way I see shit. She don't like the way I dress and